Good morning, Facebook family. This is your girl, Princess, with the Truth Heals Hurt video on this morning. I thank God for my life. Let me just start off with that first. Okay? I thank Him. I thank Him for who He is to me. Now, I've had several people talk to me about prayer life, because I love to pray. I love to talk to God. I love seeing the things that I talk to Him about, whether I, with the way that I pray, whether or not, it worked out the way that I thought, but it always works out for the good because I love the Lord. So I just love talking to Him. And so, this morning I want to talk to you because I'm realizing something about a lot of people that I'm talking to. Let me tell you about prayer. First of all, let me use this for an example so you'll get what I'm saying. There is a couple. One of them is praying that the marriage works. Another one of them doesn't care. Good morning, beautiful Susan. One of them doesn't care whether or not it works, whether or not it works. And so one of my friends was like, Princess, I'm praying that my marriage works out good. And my husband, he really doesn't care whether or not, it works out or it doesn't work out. And so she was like, how does that work? And so I started laughing because let me tell you about the power of prayer. First of all, God knows our hearts. Okay? And even though you say you're praying to me, I listen to her conversation when she's talking about her spouse, and nothing that she says about her spouse is going towards what she's asking God for. And so God, like I tell y'all all the time, God is not ignorant. God is very intelligent. And so when she's talking to me about her husband, she's not talking like she is praying for it to work out. But she tells me all the time, good morning, young blood. She tells me all the time, sis, I'm praying for my marriage. This getting on my nerves, 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 this getting on my nerves. I'm saying to myself, well, what in the world? That was my text from my husband, y'all. But I was like, what in the world are you praying for? Because if you're going to complain and you're going to talk about him and you're going to be venting to me about him, then what are your prayers? What are you saying to the Lord about your relationship with your husband? What are you saying? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. Because what you're saying to me and what you're saying to God is two different things. And so I'm here to tell y'all today that this prayer thing ain't nothing to play with. If you truly want to see God do something in your life when you pray, you need to line up your prayer with what you want. You got to act like you want something. You got to speak like you want something. You got to go out here and start doing things to show God that that's what you really want. You can't be talking about, I want my situation to work out, and then you trying to run up under some other man or some other woman. See, that's what I'm saying. That right there, not going to work out. So don't be trying to put that on God. Don't be trying to put that on him about you done prayed. Because, again, your actions not matching up with what you done asked God for. And God is not ignorant. Do you know, let me just say it like this. We got to all-knowing and all-seeing God. But there's some people out here with some real issues. There's some people out here with some real stuff going on. Some of y'all just need to communicate. Some of y'all just need to stop all this foolishness and you being selfish and stop being selfish. See, some of your problems is because you don't want to change something. But you want to keep talking to God about fixing something that your heart is not even in. And so I told her, y'all know me, Truth Heals Hurt. I was like, sis, you probably want to get to the root of your problem because you keep saying you want your marriage to work, and you mad at your husband because he's not praying for the marriage to work. But I'd rather be like him. I really would rather you be like him and don't pray for nothing, because you don't really want that. And let me tell you something else. I got another person who spoke to me. Be honest with yourself. If you really don't want something, don't keep asking me to pray for it. Right, Susan? Yes. If you really want something from God, make sure your heart is lined up with that. Because a lot of times we talk about what we want from the Lord. Princess, pray. You know why you asking me to pray? Because you don't really want that. Because let me tell you something about when I really want something. I ain't got to have nobody pray with me. When I really want something from the Lord, I bombard heaven like a mad person. I get on my knees, I pray, I talk to God for myself. And I appreciate you if you join in with me. But if you don't, I'm going to keep on praying because that's what I really want. And see, that's why we got to be honest with ourselves. Some of y'all don't really want this stuff. Some of y'all doing this for image sake. Some of y'all don't really want your spouse. But you sit up here telling me to pray for it. And you don't really want that. You don't really want that. You don't like that man. You don't like that lady. And so when you go to God or have me going to God, then God going to speak to me. God going to help me to see, because He not going to let me be foolish neither now. He not going to leave me out in the dark. That's why I love God. Yes. Yes, young blood. And see, that's what I'm talking about, young blood. A lot of people come to me talking, and I listen to them, but I listen to how much negative are you saying about your situation? How much positive are you saying about your situation? And when I put all that together, then I can pretty much tell where your heart is. You the one need to line up. Because whatsoever a man speak it, what comes out of your mouth, that's really saying what it is you want. Because there's power in your words. So you're really saying what you want. So, and some of y'all saying, like they say, I'm gonna put it like this. Some of you, when you vent to your friends, is what I mean. Let me say it like that, because some of y'all tell lies. Some of y'all try to make this depend on who you're talking to. So let me take that back. Truth feels hurt. Because I have learned that some people tell lies and be like, I really love my husband, but, there go that but. If you got a but in a sentence, more than likely that second half of the sentence is the part that's right. And that's just, yes, Regina, what you think? What you think you speak? And so, people be trying to sugarcoat stuff, try to make stuff right, try to fix it up for folks. Don't worry about man. Let me tell you something. Some of y'all stay in relationships you're very unhappy with. Some of y'all stay at jobs you're very unhappy with. Some of y'all just put up with this stuff and y'all be worried about man. But let me tell you what's happening. Your stuff is seeking out. If y'all ever, there's ever been a hole or like a leak in something and the stuff starts seeping out, on the sides. You got some water in your pot, but the steam is coming up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. Some of y'all problems and situations is doing that right there. Because while you're saying one thing, the truth is trying to push its way through. So like I said, I could tell based on how you talking whether or not I need to be praying. And let me tell you what I'm not going to do. You can ask me to pray for something. I'm going to just, truth is hurt. You can ask me to pray for something. And if you get to talking to me, and when you start talking to me, everything that you saying is against what you asking me to pray for, I'm not finna waste my time doing that. I'm not stupid either. I'm not finna waste my time, praying for something for you. I'm going to pray for you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray for you that you get your mind straight, that you get your ideas together, that you get your thoughts right. Because again, if I'm praying for you and you up here talking against what I'm talking about, I don't know how we working together. I don't know how that's two touching and agreeing. I don't see how that's us coming together. So then I'm sitting up here praying and going before the throne because I go there for real. I don't play. I'm not telling you I'm praying and not praying. I'm praying for real. And so I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to what you're saying. I'm going to watch your actions. Okay, if you say to me, Princess, pray that I get another job, and then when you get upstairs or downstairs, wherever you work at, or over across the hall, and every time I see you giggling and laughing, and you doing what you do, and then when I ask you something, then you turn and switch to pitiful, I'm not participating. Because your stuff ain't lining up. I'm not telling you to go to work sad and stuff every day. I'm telling you that when we are praying for something, we're seeking for something, we have to ask God what the truth is. Some of y'all just don't want to do no work on your job. I'm not going to be praying that you get another job to be lazy. I'm not going to be praying that you go on the other job just for you not to have nothing to do. I'm not going to be doing that. I want to do some real praying. I want some people to see God for who he really is. I want to go before the throne. And so when you pray, make sure you lining up your actions with your prayer, because God is moving. God is still a miracle worker. God is still a way maker. Yes, he is. He's still providing. He's still healing. He's still delivering. He's still saving, setting people free. He is still doing that. But the problem with most of this praying we doing, folks don't want to be set free. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to do the truth feels hurt thing on yourself. Because a lot of times this stuff ain't lining up. Your stuff ain't lining up. And so if you want to be set free, start doing some things that you know is going to get you in that direction. That way, when you start talking to God, this stuff will work out and you'll be truly healed and delivered. You won't be going back and forth with this and be blaming God and talking about something. I asked God for something. I asked God for something. And girl, I'm still struggling with that. Well, and sis, yeah, you still struggling with that because you didn't really want that. You didn't really want that. I know when I wanted my mouth to change, my smart mouth to change, I realized that I had to start speaking differently in order for my mouth to start changing. I knew I couldn't just be getting smart and talking about God is going to deliver me. I knew that. I knew that I could not keep on doing everything that I was doing and talking about God going to fix something. He can, but I got to want it. So y'all be blessed today. Do the truth feels hurt on yourself today. Ask yourself if what I'm praying for is really what I want. Because if you want to see God move, you need to line up with your heart's desires. Remember that scripture. Go find that scripture. Google that scripture where God gives us our heart's desires. So while your mouth saying one thing, what is your heart saying? Y'all be blessed.